Maki seems to be effectively unfazed by all of this. He throws the dragon bone and then it just accelerates into 20 other necks. It's about how this motherfucker stops. Instantly, almost nearly blitzes this guy. Maki wasn't looking cool at certain moments just to look cool, just because the animators wanted it for that way, or just because JJK wanted to draw it that way, but because Maki needed it that way. Episode 4 of the Culling Game arc was a generational run, and not only through the whole term itself, but through hundreds of pockets through the prowess that Maki has never showcased ever since Jujutsu Kaisen 0. No, I'm not calling her a bum, I'm saying that this is her peak performance ever, showing performance to the likes of Toji himself. Naoya, the fraud, the misogynistic fraud, even though he has showcased again one of the craziest fights in the entire anime, as well as the fate of the Zenin clan being concluded. But we're not here for the plot, we're here for the peak, the hype of the anime. And if we're gonna talk about the hype, then we've gotta talk about how this episode alone has probably scored itself in objectively the top 3 episodes in the entire anime. What I'm here to do today is to break down the play-by-play of what made this episode good and perfect. From the directing of events through scene to scene, I'm here to run down every aspect of it. Look at that sub count, hit it up. Help me get to 500 subs. And stick around if you guys want to see more stuff about manga and anime from me, yours truly, Fox Unorthodox. Hope you guys do enjoy. The scene enters with Maki walking to the Zenin clan's estate. And at first I was like, listen, your footsteps should not be reverberating this much. But you guys will understand the significance of this scene at the very end of the episode. It cuts to Naoya and Maki talking as a sort of greeting of cousins. Naoya is disrespecting her as usual, putting her down, slandering her as the little cousin that will always be below her because she's not only a female, but is now ugly, burned, and has no curse technique, and she's also a bitch. Maki's walking down a corridor, and her mother slanders her, telling her, hey, you better get back here right now. You're not worthy to go in there. Won't you listen to your mother? Won't you, for once, make me feel glad that I gave birth to your ratchet? Yes, she says things pretty close to those lines, actually. This scene then shortcuts right to a conversation between Naoya and I forgot his name. I'm sorry, guys. He's big though. Trust, he's big. They discuss plans that have been rumoring around the Zenin clan about killing Maki, Mai, and Megumi in order to regain a sort of control over the clan that allows them to stay in the big 3. What Maki soon meets in the storage unit is a bleeding out Mai, and the culprit being her own father, Ogi Zenin. Wow, I mean, this is already not even a quarter through the episode, and this is already like inciting a fight. The way this scene opens up, I can't even describe it in words. The scene feels so much bigger than these characters. Maki is bringing a once completely isolated and rejected vision of Jujutsu sorcery and presenting it to her own father, presenting it with a sword. The fight between them was quick, and the swordplay ended in Maki's defeat, mostly due to her incompetence and her lack of experience. The conflict here is not the fight itself, but I'm talking about how he drops both his daughters into the den of grade 2 and below cursed spirits. It is the den that Toji once resided in almost all the time as a child, literal abuse. We don't see such silent expressions of abuse in anime very often, and rather than representing a father dropping off daughters, the abuse again is so real and obvious that it rather represents a family rejecting, neglecting, and abandoning children of their making. This cuts straight to shared vision of Mai and Maki, specifically before Mai unfortunately passes. And this passing is due to the sacrifice of Mai and the dying life of Maki. Maki is the one who was more fatally injured than Mai. So Mai sacrifices her life by taking the last remaining little smidge of cursed energy that Maki had left, leaving her with none and making sure that the clause of sacrifice actually works in Maki's favor, rather than keeping her half-baked, as quoted by Mai herself. Pretty sure Mai also left her with a weapon. This is that weapon. Anyways, Maki blitzes the fuck out her father. I'm not giving that scene no light. It's oddly contrasting to see how no one cared when Maki and Mai were dying, and the entire clan is running back and forth from somehow finding out about the death of Ogi Zenin. Somehow. I actually don't know how they found out. But different parts of the clan are now scrambling. They have grunts, a team of semi-grade 1 or above sorcerers, and then Naoya. Wow. So it was a bunch of stuff that culminated into the clash of this episode. The peak of this episode. Seeing all the grunts around her, I mean literally knowing that they are all there to die. And Maki goes on an absolute killing spree. I want to go into detail on the beauty of this shit! I think it was also really funny how they changed her build like multiple times. They battle cry and it gets right into this literal slaughter. The war begins. She is dancing like a butterfly through the blood. Hilarious deaths on a lot of these guys, and something that stays throughout the entire episode. Some of these people go out in fashionable, ridiculously stupid ways. This dude comes in with a lance or a spear or whatever and dies. This scene of just wiping through grunts continues and persists for like 2 minutes. I wonder what they think when they see people literally their same skill level getting swatted like flies, waiting to just going into like a meat shredder. Like how do you think just like, when's my time to get in there? What? It's my turn. No! That was goofy. There will also be a lot of still moments to just pause and look at all of the destruction and slaughter that Maki caused. It's really fun. She not only cuts this man's blade, but cuts him in half. How hard do you have to throw a kunai to throw the man's body with it? She throws the dragon bone and then it just accelerates into 20 other necks. She's hitting a Toji right now. She starts skating. And it's not about the fact that she's skating, but it's about how this motherfucker stops. She does a 1-inch punch because that helps her for some reason. Instead of killing him like the other 200 grunts, she just cleared. She's walking like a robot, like Genos. All right, now we're done with all that, and she gets flourished through the ceiling. We're talking hundreds of meters through that ceiling, too. The clash begins, and curse techniques are thrown at her left and right throughout this entire sequence. Why in the hell is it pooling like this? Did she deal this much damage? And the answer is canonically, apparently, yes. The narrator goes on to talk about how these three are either semi-grade 1 or above that, which means that one of them are somehow weaker than Nanami, and we think that they can take on, let's not hype them up, let's just be honest. Instantly, almost nearly blitzes this guy. This guy with a nice Yakuza looking haircut. The swordplay is honestly way better than it was against Ogi in that first round. She ditches the swordplay. Tells him to give her that neck. What? She took his neck and he went out fashionably. Tell me what God needs to exist to orchestrate such a beautiful death. Somebody tried to jump her and take an opportunity to take out this big dog. You know what she said? Give me that neck, nigga. This curse technique, whatever it is, it sure is the best display it can ever give. Because it seems like that is literally all this man can do with his technique. And he's using it to its maximum potential. The craziest part about this is that Maki seems to be effectively unfazed by all of this. Before we go into what he does, look at this motherfucking quads! I want those quads! Y'all wanna see real quick? Bet. I ain't even get monetized yet, and I'm about to get demonetized. Like and sub to make sure I do get monetized. Thank you very much. Anyways, proceeding on to Big Hairy Guy, he sends down Deku plus Airy Punch Barrage, Serious Punch Series. It's explosive, it's big, and she endures all of it. I don't even know if she endures it. She takes his head off. I still don't know what Maki did to survive this. It's just whatever. Naoya approaches. Not even approaches, he's already there. That's how Naoya works. He asks her, do you even have a heart? And you know what she said? Nah. Mai took it with her. The battle commences. Maki is immediately trying to count how many frames is going by per second because she already knows about Naoya's technique. She's literally in the same clan as him. Naoya was ragdolling my Maki everywhere, trucking her into boulders and cliffs and mountains. If you guys are not aware by this point, I'm gonna tell you guys about what Naoya's curse technique is. Naoya's curse technique allows for him to break down moments of time into seconds, and these seconds into 24 frames. Everything that he touches with his palm, if failing to abide by 24 frames of movement, it stays frozen for a second. Things stack up over time, allowing for Naoya to speed up, especially when he applies his technique to himself with successful applications of the 24 frames per second. He is reaching some pretty high speeds just to land a calculated blow against Maki. Editor Fox here to tell you guys one thing that I undersold throughout this entire fight between Naoya and Maki. Maki wasn't looking cool at certain moments just to look cool, just because the animators wanted it for that way, or just because JJK wanted to draw it that way, but because Maki needed it that way. How physically capable she was to control every movement down to 24 increment within each second down to this specific moment to completely stop all of that momentum, something she honed in on, how it's being showcased in a not only cool, physically appealing way, but also technically as well. This fight came down to the wire simply because of Maki's patience, her adaptability, and her will to be able to trump curse techniques down to the culminating moment right here, right now. He's running around a mountain as Maki is standing still, waiting for him, timing the palm touch exactly 1 second from how this whole thing ends for when she is hypothesized to freeze. What she did know was that she needed to succeed at those frames, and she found the perfect time to finally adapt to the curse technique there and then. With the final remaining frames, she is carrying on Mai's wish to destroy everything, aka the Zenin plan, which she succeeds in doing. After smashing this nigga's skull into smithereens, she goes back to the estate, visits her mother, and her mother not happy to see her ass at all. I honestly forgot the dialogue between them, and she just slices her mother. Naoya pulls back up to the estate. Somehow, I don't know what time it is at this point. Maki, you should have finished me off. Maki, you should have did this. Maki, you're never gonna be Toji. And one thing he was never going to be was to live to see the next day, honestly. Maki's mother pulls up and stabs him in the back as he falls and crumbles onto the floor. A beautiful way to end this episode, especially with the cherry on top, with how Maki is seen leaving the estate. All in a day's work. Dead ass, all in a day's work. This is what everybody was doing to that episode. Best directed episode in all of Jujutsu Kaisen. Genuinely. Narratively, and with the action. One flaw that I'll give is the fact that if someone never saw the manga and is not going to be blinded by the excitement to see the manga be adapted in the anime and see Mappa do this, that, and the other, and just, jizz, quality and slavery in our faces, then they will feel a little confused with how fast-paced everything is. This was Fox Unorthodox, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. I do manga and anime. Stick around, like and sub, please. I'll see ya. Goodbye.